That's a door. Hey, I'm talking to Jim Matson. We were just talking about the weather because you said you were from Upper Michigan, and here we are. This is actually quite warm weather for this time of the year, and you grew up shoveling the snow, huh?
That's right.
I bet you love being out here then.
Oh yeah.
Do you ever miss the snow? Do you ever just like those nice snowy days and that just have that picturesque?
Not now.
Not now.
I spent a year and a half in Alaska in a service, and that was something else. Fairbanks, Alaska.
You got plenty of it then.
Yes.
All right. Yesterday was your monthly meeting, your November meeting, and it ran about 3 hours and 4 minutes, and we'll replay that to you tomorrow at 1:30. So. Lot to talk about, and some resolutions were involved, but pretty much it kind of moved along. Again, we talked a little bit about I know one of the highlights was the Energy Committee, and talking about the charter for that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've been on a number of boards since I've been here,
mm-hmm.
and it all boils down to how active the directors want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Some, have very little interest in doing anything while they're on the board, but they just like being on a board. But others want to be active and really want to dig in on things, and this is one of the years that is like that. We have a number of directors that are real active, like landscape, energy, M&C, finance, problem resolution, people that really want to dig in and look at things, and we all have a common purpose, is to help the people, to make our area here much better and keep up the manners, and so it's really a pleasure being on the board at this time.
One of the things, as we get back to the Energy Committee, and this, every board, whether it's GRF or United right now, they're all looking at this, meaning people eventually are going to have more and more plug-in vehicles. They want solar power, but there's just a lot of infrastructure that has to be dealt with first, right?
Well, for what you mentioned, but one thing that has a extremely high payoff for us is this LED lighting. I've come to find out, and Bert Muldall and John Levy are right in the thick of that, and trying to work with GRF. But we got all these clubhouses here, and even like mm-hmm. here, that could be transformed over to LED lighting. It's not very expensive to buy the equipment, but the amount of energy you're using, probably 75% less energy.
It's amazing, yeah.
And it's incredible, and so you save thousands of dollars even in one clubhouse, like Clubhouse 7. I think the calculations came out, they could save around $3,000 a month or something like that.
Yeah,
it's just incredible.
It was brought up that, at least for individuals as well, there's certain parameters that you can get some sort of a rebate, or Southern California Edison is actually helping out, and that contractors will come in and do the work. Now they get the rebate, but then there's a payoff for the community here, right? And that we're not paying out for that. They're getting the money directly.
Yes, and these rebates only last so long, but others spring up. And so our Energy Committee, they're identifying all these things, and they're trying to move out as fast as they can. In fact, last month we actually designated some thousands of dollars for LED lighting in our 3-story building area.
Mm-hmm. Another point that was talked about under new business, and this is something that gets talked about over the years, and it's really about the procedures and what's called the matrix. And explain that a little bit, but it's about how the boards get information from staff and back and forth, right? And the progress of projects that are going on.
Well, yes, and each of like M&C and all these committees, there's a project list of mm-hmm. everything that's going on. and that's presented, and it has due dates and milestones during the course of activities. And like I said, we have directors that want to get involved and start nosing around and looking at things. And for example, this golf course rain runoff, that is a big deal.
Yeah.
And this board has really gotten involved in the actual work over there. In fact, at 11 o'clock this morning, we're going to jump on a bus and take a tour over there with Doug Kohler is going to lead that. And that activity is really moving along. We found there's a number of things that are really exciting about that we've gotten involved in, authorized some additional monies for some enlarging some of the piping, underground piping. And so, but just to follow through on that particular project is sort of like the old, when we did the Village Greens building, that was a real exciting program. Well, some of these things are a little smaller scale, but really very interesting.
And a very important program.
Yeah, and very important.
Ray Gross, who heads the Resident Problem Resolution Committee, the Services Committee, you had commented what a great job he does, and it's not an easy task because you have people that are coming in that obviously, as the name implies, maybe be having some problems with just various needs, and he's kind of taken that to heart and has really done a great job with that committee, hasn't he?
Well, and the only way he's able to do that is has been here many years, and he's been on boards for probably maybe another year longer than I've been on these boards. And he really has a burden to help people. And he has great experience from security and investigations, and he understands, as a result of being on boards all these years, he knows where everything is around here and what the procedures are and who to talk to on things. And these people that would bring their set, I was at the last meeting and sat down there, and these people with all kinds of different things, and he just answered them very conscientiously. You could tell he really has his heart set on helping people there. It was wonderful.
How, if one of your members is having a certain kind of problem, how do they bring it to this committee, to the Resident Problem Resolution Services? What is their first step? Is there obviously, if it's something about their manner or a problem they may be having, going to Property Services at first, but at what point can they sign up to come to one of these meetings?
Well, from what I understand, just a walk on. You just show up. At our last meeting, it was in the Birch meeting, and got there about 5 minutes before the meeting started, and the place was full. It was a standing room.
Wow.
And that's the largest group we've had. The previous one, there was just one couple. But anyway, this with Ray leading that, and myself and Jim Tung are on that, and we're all motivated to help the people. So I think people will say, "Hey, there's some people over there that can help us, so let's go over." And so we welcome anyone that has the need to come.
That's great. And again, there are a lot of services here that the folks that live here, the residents that are here, can take advantage of. And if you're in Third, this is a wonderful place to go. And as Jim said, you can just show up. We always mention when that meeting is going to take place. And if you have a question, a problem, it's certainly an area maybe you'll get your full answer, but if not, you'll get pointed in the right direction.
Well, another one that's probably even more effective than that is when Marcia Wilson from Social Services showed up and made a wonderful presentation.
She did.
That was just outstanding. Wow.
She is great in our social service department. She's been, I think she came in here about the same month I did, which will be going on about 14 years. And her whole staff down there, I think the number one thing is the compassion that they have.
Oh, yes.
And just a great person. And as she says, she's a big advocate on maybe we'll start with a little piece of chocolate here. But it's true. They always have something down there to help people out, and great staff down there. I think it's very unique to this community that we have social service department. There's a lot of senior communities out there. I don't know of any others that have a department to this caliber.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, I certainly would agree with that.
Yeah, it's a great service, and again, they're right downstairs. And if you feel that you need somebody to talk to, and as she said, maybe there's a friend of yours or a neighbor you're a bit concerned about, that's your first step, and they'll do what they can to look into it. So good for Marcia and her entire staff down there. Again, the meeting ran about 3 hours and 4 minutes, and we're going to bring that to you tomorrow at 1:30, and then next week as well on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. And is there anything else you'd like to add today?
Well, our closed session, we covered a number of things there, and I think we got started around 1, and we walked out of the room at 4:30 or so. So
yeah.
Just as long as the morning session.
Yeah, I think people forget that you may watch or be attending the open session, and generally the closed session is just as long, sometimes if not longer. Mm-hmm. So a lot of hours that the directors put in, both on their regular meeting, but certainly all the committees as well.
Yeah.
It's impressive. Jim, thank you for coming on today.
Yeah, most welcome,
And
Ken.
it's good to see you again.
Yeah, nice seeing you.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Okay.
We'll be right back.